back to another 6-scale figure review with me, your host, Mania, and today we have the White Ranger from Dino Thunder. So this is the second of technically 3 now Dino Thunder figures that SooSoo Toys has been making. They did just put up the Red Ranger not too long ago, and obviously, if you already saw, I've done the Black Ranger, so now we have what is considered my second favorite Ranger from Dino Thunder, the White Ranger. Actually, it's a very close race between him and the Black Ranger for who really is my favorite. But obviously, we could talk about that a little bit later. So here's the box. It says SooSoo Toys exclusive. That means that they technically released it in a limited batch. I don't really know what that means because I really don't feel like these are very limited. I feel like everyone, they say like 400 limited, but I've never quite seen anybody fighting over them. I think they just put that on there just to see if people, to try to get people to buy it quicker. Box is quite nice. I do wish the visor was a little bit more vibrant of a red, but whatever. It is just the helmet overall, and then it's got the black stripes on these sides here and on the back to represent the suit. It is a nice little representation of the suit without actually showing off too much. But obviously we don't want to see the box, we want to see the figure inside. So why don't we get him out of here and onto the spinning turntable, shall we then? So here he is, and boy does he look great. I'm super excited to have this guy because actually the White Ranger was the first ever Power Rangers toy I ever owned. I can't even find a photo of the toy I had, but I believe it had like a flippable head. I'll see if I can find it and maybe put it here. But he was indeed the first ever Power Rangers figure or toy I owned, so having him in a 6-scale form now that I'm collecting much bigger is a crazy dream come true for me, and I'm super excited to be able to have this guy in the collection. And I'm really hoping they do the yellow and blue at this point, since they've already done the red. They might as well wrap up the line, right? Dino Thunder was obviously, I believe I said it in the Black Ranger video, my first Power Rangers, what got me into Power Rangers, so having these guys here is awesome to see, and this guy is a fantastic looking representation of how he looked on screen. Just only at this point one issue that translates between both of them, since they solved issue number 1, which was the height, and I'll show you that in a little bit. But yes, it does look great, and let's get him off of the spinning turntable so we can take a closer look at Trent here. So like normal, Power Rangers don't really come with much. They come with just enough to get by. So he comes with a sheathed version of his blade here, which is nice. It's got some nice detailing on it. I really love the way the little Drago guy on the front looks. Very reminiscent of the, like the White Ranger, like original, since this was the anniversary season. So this one was quite important to feel similar, but different enough. And then it's got its extended blade version, which is even nicer. He can do a lot of evil or good, depending on how far into the season you are at. So this one is just mainly for holding, and this one is for his side sheath over there. He does also come with, this is not them because I've already switched them out, but as I said in the previous video with the Black Dino Thunder Ranger, he's a little small. So SooSoo Toys did take that into account, and they added larger ankle pegs. So here's the smaller versions. I've already used both large ones for this and the black one, so I can show you how this looks in a little bit. I will show you the old size versus the new size as well, which will be a fun little quick comparison. But we can wait on that, and we'll show you, like I'm a hive mind, I will show you now the White Ranger. So let's talk about one of my favorite helmets of all time on a Power Ranger. Other than the fact that it still isn't glossy, which I don't think SooSoo Toys is going to fix, but I will. It is a fantastic looking helmet. I just wish it wasn't like matte white, which I just complained about, but I'll complain about it as many times as I need to. The red visor has this guy stands out solely because that red visor is so different from almost everything else. Everyone else has, normal dark black visor, which looks great, but man, does something like this stand out even more just because, it's different. It looks menacing, It's got a beautiful shape to it, and it's so well done. It comes to a lovely point right up here, which helps emphasize just a little bit more. I love the fin as well. It really helps it stand out. And the bright white color with black and gold accents obviously reminds you of the original White Ranger, but way more cool, because it's, you know, it's got that early 2000s edge to it, which I personally love. But yes, this helmet is fantastically done. And if you look up here at the helmet, it actually looks like the wings of the creature are kind of like spread out and splayed. So it's a nice little simple but fun little design to it. So we do also have this chest piece, quite reminiscent of our original green and white Rangers, and it looks great. It's got this beautiful like black claws almost going around it with the nice gold trim around the edge, and this nice little stick-up piece right here. All fantastically done. It looks absolutely beautiful. And then that design persists all the way down with this like tiger stripe on the arms, on the insides, which looks really good. I love the way this whole suit looks, because there's never like a bland color. Like on the white and the Green Ranger, they're great, but obviously once you get past a certain point, it's all the same color. This has these pops of color all over the thing so that you can see all over. It's not just one boring color all the way down. This belt part here kind of looks like an eye that hasn't opened yet. It's fun, but it's I believe it's supposed to be an egg with a claw going around it, like a bird. That's what it looks like to me, at least. A nice gold belt helps break up the color. A good belt can help break up a lot of color here. He's got a regular wristband on this side, and just like the other ones, he's got his morpher on this side with the little, it's a little too close, with the little dragon. It looks great. That Drago morpher is fantastic. I know it's probably not possible, but I do wish there was little like swap out so you could have the other Dino Zords on here, so you can make it so he's calling like the Stegos or all the other ones. But you know, I'm not complaining because I'm happy overall. And then that design persists all the way down to the bottom where the boots keep going. So this is the only thing that's a little weird, because obviously this would normally persist into the boot, but because he's slightly taller now, it doesn't go into the boot. But if you're, you know, like me, you're not going to complain too much. The boots are nice with a gold little top. The black stripes continue all the way down to these nice little white stompers. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull out a regular, I guess I'll pull out the White Ranger so you can see the size comparison between the short and then the regular sized. So we can do that right now. So I know some people don't mind the fact that they're smaller, because 3-0's figures are a little bit taller than they need to be, but 3-0 did make them first, so they kind of did set the stage for how all the rest, I guess, should look if they want to be uniform and unified. So as you can see here, the SooSoo Toys one is just that slightly smaller, just like the Black Ranger. But if you take those ankle extenders, it will pretty much bring them up to par. So you see here now, but let's see here, and just like that, now you can see they are the exact same height, or almost the exact same height, around the same. They are much more in line with how they should look, because they are more you know, attuned to the same size, and not just like really tiny White Ranger with a overbearingly original White Ranger. And it definitely helps a lot. It does give him a little bit more of that weird like longer leg feeling, but at the same time, I'll sacrifice a little bit longer of a legs so I can have some uniformity with my Ranger ranks. I am glad that SooSoo Toys did something so simple as adding this, so people can have the option between one or the other, and not just, you know, changing it and leaving the Black Ranger in the dust, because this just gives people the opportunity to do however they want. I personally, like I said, will keep them at the same height, but some people can keep them at that smaller height if they say they don't have the SooSoo Toys version, or they just like the way they looked at the regular height. Anyway, why don't we bring out the Black Ranger, new and improvedly taller, so we can see how the Dino Thunder crew is coming together. I'm very happy to say now these two are much more in line with each other. The White Ranger does come with, I'm assuming they all come with now, an extra set of ankle extenders for if you got the Black Ranger, but the White Ranger did come with them, so I was able to make him a little taller, which is quite nice. But now he suffers from what I feel like is just a slightly too small head. I feel like the head is like, on Trent here, the head looks a little bit bigger, so it looks a little bit more normal, but I feel like here on Tommy, the head is just slightly too small, so it makes his head look a little tiny. But that's something I can live with at the end of the day. Just because his head's getting crushed doesn't mean that my dreams are as well. Because, hey, I've got 2 Dino Thunder Rangers, which is more than I thought I'd ever have, which is awesome. I'm super happy with the way these two look. I can't wait to get the Red Ranger. And again, hopefully the blue and the yellow come at some point too, because the Dino Thunder Rangers have some of my favorite designs overall. Anyway, why don't we get Tommy out of here, because we'll need him a little bit later this week to do some articulation here on Mr. White. So, like back to normal, life ending 360 degrees, up that far and down that far. Arm goes up that far, little back and forth action. It's a little hindered because of the material here, but you can get about back that far. Also, you'll be hindered by that, of course. About 90 at the elbow, and free wrist articulation. Crunch and back crunch. Spread about that much. Leg goes up that far. Leg doesn't really go back at all. Knee bend, and you get a lot of articulation if you have this extra joint, so feel free to use it. Anyway, why don't we morph ourselves to the end of this video, shall we then? So I would say, all in all, it's a good day to be me, because man, I'm just excited that I have another Dino Thunder Ranger on the shelf. I just made a new shelf specifically for Power Rangers. Like, I cleared off shelf and I made a new shelf space, and it's already getting full, more full than I can kind of handle at this point. Toys Battalion's been overwhelming me. SooSoo Toys is making so many Power Rangers. Obviously, 3-Zero's got a bunch of stuff now out and coming out. So it's just a good time to be a Power Rangers fan. It's a good time to be a Power Rangers 6-scale collector, especially when you're me, the number 1 Power Rangers 6-scale reviewer of all time. And I'm super happy, and I hope that you guys are just as excited as I am for this Ranger sweep that we've got going on right now. I know it will end eventually, because once you hit the top, there's nowhere to go but down. But right now, let's live life to the fullest and enjoy as much Ranger stuff as we can get our hands on. Anyway, if you've picked up this guy or any of the other SooSoo Toys Power Rangers or any of Power Rangers, feel free to let me know which ones you have, which one's your favorite, which one you're waiting for the most, because right now I know I got a few more on the way. So obviously the Ranger content will keep on chugging along. Even if you were just eyeballing it and you're debating whether you wanted it, I hope this video does indeed help you decide whether you wanted to get any of these at all. Maybe you wanted to get, maybe you were eyeballing the I don't know, the Lost Galaxy Red Ranger, and you're like, I don't know if the quality of these guys are good. Well, let me tell you, they are. And now that they're a little bit taller, it's even better. The only thing, like I said in the original video, is that I wish the helmets were a little bit more glazed. And by that I mean a little bit more shiny. But that's something that is fixable at the end of the day. If the only problems are fixable, then that is a good thing. And if you enjoyed this video, please feel free to like the video and also subscribe to the channel, because it helps a lot, and it keeps me more empowered to keep doing stuff like this, because I enjoy it way more when I know you guys are enjoying it too. Also, like I said, always feel free to comment, because I'll feel free to respond to whatever you need to chat about. You want to talk about Rangers, you want to talk about, I don't know, anything, and we'll chat about it, and I'll figure it out, and we'll talk about it. And as always, I've been me, and you've been you, and thank you for watching another 6-scale figure review, and hopefully you join me next time when we review something maybe new. I will see you then.